Hey, I actually found someone that knows something about defense in New Orleans. What is up, guys? FlappyChicken here, and today in this video we are doing Week 3 predictions of the NFL. Last week was Week 2, a very successful week actually. We take a quick glance down here. We went 13-3 in Week 2. That is way better than last week. I'm pulling this up real quick, the record. Last week we went 8-7. This week we go a solid 13-3. So predictable this week. You know, the first week it's kind of iffy, but then once you get into the swing of things, you know what teams are better, you know how they're gonna do, all that stuff. Anyways, Week 2, Thursday Night Football, Texans beat Bengals. I mean, I thought it was obvious. A lot of people didn't think that it was that obvious, because they picked the Bengals to win, but the Bengals are terrible. The Bengals just fired their offensive coordinator because of how bad they played over these past 2 weeks, and I totally agree. Dalton hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. He's thrown like 4 picks in the past 2 weeks, and it's just not good. Sunday Night Football, or Sunday football in general, the Saints, they got killed by the Patriots. You know, I'm not surprised. Also, as I said in the opening, Saints can't play defense. Like, their defense, I complimented them against the Vikings, but they just looked downright sloppy this week against the Patriots. Like, they didn't even look like, at some plays, looked like they just gave up. And Brady made some bad throws, and none of them counted because of penalties, because of effort. It was just terrible. I mean, if you're playing defense, you need to try. Buccaneers Bears domination. Buccaneers win. Amazing showing by Jameis Winston. Eagles Chiefs. I knew the Chiefs would slightly edge out the win that day against the Eagles. Eagles are still a great team, but the Chiefs have been very impressive these past 2 weeks. One of the top teams in the NFL today. The Vikings and the Steelers. Again, you cannot bet against the Steelers at home. And what did I tell you? The Steelers beat the Vikings. Bradford was out, so they put in Case Keenum, former starter of the Rams last year, and didn't go well. Ravens versus Browns, 24-10. Ravens are a good team, alright? Like, last week, I was so afraid, because they, got 4 picks on Andy Dalton. This week, they took care of the Browns in a relatively reasonable fashion. Wasn't anything surprising. Except maybe the emergence of Kevin Hogan in absence of Deshaun Kaiser. Hogan went off in his first drive. Then he fell off, went back to earth. Ravens got a pick, and it was over. Bills versus Panthers. The score was 9-3. Panthers, they need to get better. I mean, they might win against New Orleans next week, but they need to put their shit together if they only beat the Bills by 6 in a low-scoring game. Arizona Cardinals versus Colts in overtime. What a game. I actually witnessed the overtime of the Cardinals and the Colts. Up to that point, Jacoby Brissett looked awesome. Jack Doyle was getting all the yards and the receptions. And then, opening drive, first play, throws a pick to the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And then the Cardinals just kicked it in, and then pow, it's over. Cardinals won. Barely. Titans versus Jaguars, it was so much domination. Marcus Mariota wasn't even playing that well. I mean, he had 1 touchdown pass. Delaney Walker had a rushing touchdown, very surprising. But the Jaguars, where's Saxonville now? Where is Saxonville? I can't find it. Where'd it go? Jets versus Raiders, 45-20. Not surprised. The most surprising thing is that the Jets got 20 points. How? That just shows how mediocre the Raiders' defense actually is. Chargers, Dolphins. The Dolphins won barely. I mean, I'm blaming it on the Chargers kicker. He missed 2 field goals in this game. That is not good, and it cost them the game. as the Dolphins, led by Jay Cutler, won. Cannot believe it. 49ers versus Seahawks, a very low-scoring game. Was not expecting it to be this low-scoring, but the Seahawks come away with the win. Wilson needs to get better. Russell Wilson, he needs to get better. He does not look impressive at all this season. Kind of showing shades of last season, where it was very mediocre play. I mean, I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. You need to do better, Russell Wilson. Redskins, Rams, very close matchup. Rams still lost. I hate the Redskins so much. Kirk Cousins is showing his true colors. That he's not actually a good quarterback. That it was just the system that really benefited him. Because you could see him during the game dumping it off to Chris Thompson, dumping it off to his running backs. No connections with Terrell Pryor at all. Yeah, I just think the Redskins are lucky to win. I still like the Rams, even though Jared Goff threw his first pick last week. Cowboys, Broncos. Boy, was I wrong about this game. The Broncos completely shut down the Cowboys. Dak Prescott met his match, and Prescott got dropped on his head. Not literally, but not literally. Zeke, terrible game. Worst game of his career against the Broncos. Didn't even get 10 yards. Sunday night football. Falcons, Packers. Falcons took care of the Packers early in the first half. Packers did come back in the second half, but the performance by Aaron Rodgers is not that good. I mean, I get it, he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, but he's not doing so well this season. Matty Ice. On the other hand, Matty Ice is going off. Pretty nice season so far for Matty Ice. And the Falcons are 2-0 this season. Monday Night Football, people are surprised, but I'm like, the Lions are gonna win. How are you surprised? Last week, Giants did bad against the Cowboys, in which I thought it was gonna be a close game. Week 1, Cowboys won, so I didn't expect the Giants to win this week against the Lions. Lions, first half, I'd say it was impressive. Eric Ebron got a touchdown, first for his season. But I mean, there was no fourth quarter comeback. It was Lions dominated the entire game. They were in the lead, so that's that. And now to the week 3 predictions. Thursday Night Football, Rams, 49ers. On paper, this looks terrible, but I mean, I like the Rams. The Rams are gonna win. 49ers are trash. Their offense is trash. Except Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde last week against the Seahawks, amazing game. Ravens, Jaguars. I'm loving the Ravens this year. Jaguars, Saxonville, week 1. Week 2, where is it? I don't think Jaguars can get it done at home. The offense is terrible. Allen Robinson is not in. He's out for the rest of the season. I have no hope in the Jaguars, except that Leonard Fournette should do good, alright? That's all the hope I have. But again, looking at the matchup, Leonard Fournette, I don't think he's going to have a good week this week against the Ravens. Ravens defense is tough, and I mean tough. Patriots, Houston. Patriots are the better team at home. Patriots win. Eagles, Giants. Giants have been terrible this year. They have not looked like a playoff team. They can miss the playoffs this year, which is a little surprising. I think this confrontation will definitely tell the tale on the Eagles and the Giants season. If the Giants lose this game, I feel like they're not going to make the playoffs. But if the Eagles win this game, I'm all in for Carson Wentz. Colts, Browns, I mean, I'd say it's the worst game this week. But I mean, Jacoby Brissett is better than Deshaun Kaiser at this point. And Colts looked mighty fine last week against the Arizona Cardinals. They almost won. So Browns are going to lose again. Jets, Dolphins, more confidence in Jay Cutler than I do in Josh McCown. Dolphins going to win. Buccaneers and the Vikings. It's a close game. But I'm believing Jameis Winston. This offense this year for the Buccaneers, great offense. They're not going to get Doug Martin back this week, but next week Doug Martin comes back. Jaquez Rodgers, still a very good running back. And, I mean, the Vikings, their offense isn't really that dynamic. I mean, I know Stephon Diggs had 2 touchdowns in the first week. It kind of does depend on Sam Bradford. But I think this, again, will be a good game, and I'd say the Buccaneers barely get out of it with the win because I think the Buccaneers are a better team than the Vikings. Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills. I bet against the Broncos last week. Horrible idea. Broncos shut down the Cowboys. They can shut down any offense. And I mean, the Bills' offense is terrible. So Broncos definitely going for the win. Trevor Siemian looked impressive last week. Expect him to look impressive this week. Saints, Panthers. I'm not betting against the Panthers at home. Saints also can't play defense. That's that. Steelers, Bears. Even though the Steelers are away, and I hate the Steelers when they're away, the Bears aren't winning this. Mike Glennon is not a good quarterback. I know I keep talking about quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are usually leaders of the team. If you have a bad quarterback, like San Francisco, Bears, you're not going to do good. And so I expect the Steelers to come out on top with a win, but I expect the defense to show up in this game and maybe Le'Veon Bell. I don't expect much from the passing game, but running game and defense will probably determine the game for the Steelers. Falcons, Detroit, very, very good matchup. I mean, it's a close one between Falcons and Lions. I've been a believer of the Lions, but I just think they're going to take an L this week against the Falcons. Falcons looking as impressive as last year, and I expect the Falcons just to rise up and keep on moving with the wins. Seahawks and Titans now. I mean, Seahawks are kind of bad right now. Well, I haven't seen any convincing play from Russell Wilson. And, like, Seahawks are bad. They aren't that good at home or away from home. Titans, on the other hand, I love the Titans. Mariota, Decker. Corey Davis might not play this week. DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry, their offense is stacked. Defense, not so much. But their offense is what carried them to the playoffs last year. And, I mean, just if the Titans are able to shut down the offense of the Seattle Seahawks, which the 49ers kind of did last week, so I expect anyone to be able to shut down Russell Wilson, then the Titans are going to come out with the win. Very surprising. Bengals versus Packers, it's a no-brainer. Aaron Rodgers bounces back this week against the Bengals. Bengals have been terrible, so Packers win. Chiefs versus the LA Chargers. Chiefs have been one of the top teams. Chargers have not. No-brainer. Sunday Night Football, Raiders, Redskins. I do not like the Redskins. I do not think they're talented, except for Josh Norman and maybe Terrell Pryor. Maybe there's a little bias in there. But I mean, Raiders are the better team, better offense. I just think the Raiders are going to win, and Redskins might not have a chance. Monday Night Football, Cowboys versus Cardinals. Last week, the story of the Cowboys this season, beginning of the season, they've been going against tough defenses. Week 1, they prevailed against the Giants. Week 2, they fell to the Broncos. Cardinals defense, I'd say they'd be a little better than the Giants, but yet a little worse than the Broncos. So, I think the Cowboys are going to win this week. I mean, I cannot bet against the Cowboys. It's prime time. Dak Prescott's probably going to be better. I mean, and the Cardinals don't have an offense. I mean, their best player, David Johnson, got injured. John Brown might be out this week. So, it's not looking good for the Cardinals. So yeah, Cowboys win. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.